Well, you guys, it's been about 2-3 weeks easy. This process was a process, I should say. This project kicked my butt. Honestly, it really kicked my butt. The amount of work we've had to do to get the steering shaft to work with these headers have been problematic. But I had to call some backup in. I had to call my buddy Franklin, badass fabricator, man. He knows his stuff. He has helped us in the past with a few projects. He helped us along the way with the Frankenstein build, with the turbo hot side stuff. But I want to show you what we ended up coming up with. He came over, we redesigned the header. We really had to redesign the header, notch it. I finished building the steering shaft, and like I said, it's kind of been one of those videos where it's been on and off, working on it. That's why it really hasn't been focused too much on the front of the car. We've been focused on the inside of the car, the wiring, the back of the car, you name it. But this is really actually was holding us up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You see that thing? Yeah, man, this thing was a pain in the freaking butt. But big shout out to Franklin once again, you guys. Hit him up on Instagram, man. He is a badass fabricator. He builds motorcycles. He forges metal. I mean, you name it, you guys. This thing, he knows his stuff. But he definitely came over. He gave me a few ideas on what we can do, and we really had to redesign this entire collector right here and manipulate that header to go on the other side of that coupler. Not to mention, I don't know if you guys can see, we ended up having to notch it a little bit as well there just to clear our screws or set screws, not to mention the actual flange itself that comes in off that coupler. But you can also see what I did here is I designed a little bracket here for our steering shaft stabilizer. This guy's they run them in a lot of different cars when you got multi-piece shaft. Obviously we're running a 2-piece shaft, and you can see, I mean, we have like almost no clearance. I mean, it is super freaking tight, but it's good. We have no bind. And again, if you're gonna do a multi-piece shaft or steering shaft, you definitely want to probably come up with some kind of stabilizer in between the two, so that way there's no flex when that thing is turning. Now you can see our bracket down there. We have it bolted directly to the frame with 3 bolts, not just 1, but 3. I had redesigned it a couple times. So originally I had just this guy here with just a 95-degree bend like that, just to account for the angle. But talking to Franklin, he's like, man, you should probably put some flanges on it, so that way it adds some extra support. So we redesigned, instead of just welding it to that, he's like, you know what, let me just redesign it, and we actually add some flanges to this guy here, and then just throw a couple welds on the bottom side. Let me show you. Trying to get up and close for you guys. You can see, yeah, you see how much of a difference that is. That has the nice little flanges that come off. They're built into the bracket. Obviously I designed it in CAD, CNC'd it, and then bent it. But you can see down here, it just adds a lot more support. So that way that thing is nice and rigid when this thing is turning, and you got some actual weight on the car. Not to mention you're driving down the road. I mean, look at this thing, spins freely, smoothly, no bind. You definitely don't want any bind, you guys. When you guys are building these steering shafts, if you have any bind, you forget about it. You're going to feel all that through the steering wheel. And the last thing you want to do is have that when it comes down to, I mean, just everyday driving. I mean, let alone it's just a bad experience overall as a driver. But that look feels so freaking smooth right there. I like it. That really finishes up our steering column slash shaft there. And again, I'm very happy the way it came out. It was super challenging though, just because again, we had to go with this 2-piece shaft, not to mention reconstruct the header itself, which was a pain. Thanks to my buddy Franklin. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. But we still got to do our brake lines. We did leave a little room for our brake lines. We should be able to get a fitting on there, no problem. Of course, we got a brake booster. We got to still mount. I've been avoiding that. Not to mention the rest of the front end here, along with the inner fender well. But you can see we got everything in for the most part here. Obviously, you guys remember that guy. We even did the foam on here, so that way we got no heat or anything coming through that. We even added a little extra heat guard right here, just because how tight that header is there for the actual floorboard. But I'm liking it, you guys. It's coming right along. Again, I don't know if I showed you guys also, we went ahead and actually plumbed our power steering. So our power steering is nice and plumbed, ready to go. Not to mention, we ended up having to use one of our brackets here for the actual reservoir. If you guys not seen this little universal bracket, we do offer them on the website. They just come flat. You just got to bend it how you want it. But that's coming in super clutch because, again, we got the reservoir mounted nice and tight out of the way. But we're going to keep on grooving. Oh, let me show you the other thing. I don't know if I showed you guys this last time. You guys remember that bad boy right there, that little bracket that we designed up for the radiator fans, the relays. Went ahead and redesigned it, CNC'd it instead of hand cut. And that looks sharp, you guys. We are going to offer them on the website. If you guys are interested, man, hit up the website, gooseperformance.com. If you guys need somewhere to put those relays on, man, hit up the website. They're super cheap. They come with some hardware as well. But all it does is use one bolt right here and it's in. Man, you guys, it is still freaking hot and it's October already. But I do got a bunch of work I still got to finish up. You can see we still got the fuel system. We still got some other plumbing to do up front here as well. Of course, the cold air intake, we still got to do that. We might even do something custom. But guys, do me a favor, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. And you guys already know, stay wrenching.